guys hear Caitlin Clark? Did any of you guys hear Caitlin Clark after the game? I'm going to see if I can get the clip. I'm going to see if I can get the clip right here. And this sums it all up. This sums it all up. Sums it all up. Caitlin Clark, by the way, came out and just dominated. Caitlin Clark, LeBron James is out here saying the Caitlin Clark effect. Welcome back, you were missed. And Caitlin Clark comes out. There's no clip, but enough people have tweeted it. Enough people have tweeted it. But Caitlin Clark, that's how the Fever are supposed to play basketball. That's how they're supposed to play basketball. I agree. I agree. You heard in the ESPN interview. I agree. And that sounds like that's obviously, look, I don't think it's a direct shot at the coach, but it's an indirect shot at their coach. It's an indirect shot at their coach. I think that's a, like, you know, let me do me. Because I mean this when I say this. They had a layup to go up 16 points. And they literally stopped, they stopped running. They started slowing it down. They tried to dribble out the clock, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. By the way, this was the second biggest. I think this is the second biggest win that they've had, or it was the biggest win they've had that wasn't against the Sky in 2 years. It is only the Sky that this team has been able to comfortably beat over the last 2 years. But you've now got Caitlin Clark saying this is how we're supposed to play. And I agree with that. I fully agree with that. The WNBA single game record is 9, held by Ryan Howard. Arike, by the way, Arike did it against the Fever. And the Fever still won. A lot of people were like, oh, Caitlin Clark scored those points against Arike. Or sorry, scored those points against the Wings. It doesn't count last year. And I'm like, man, Arike, they won the game and Arike set the all-time three-point record. It was against the Fever. And Caitlin still went and won that game. They literally beat the refs. They beat everyone. They beat the Liberty. They beat the refs. Again, not a full-strength Liberty. Not a full-strength Liberty. Like, we are absolutely not going to be out here, we're not going to be saying the Fever aren't going to be out here, or like the Fever aren't going to go and win. We're not going to say they're going to win because of that. We're not going to say the Fever are better than the Liberty because of that. But everything was exactly how it should be. Late on in the game, get Caitlin Clark the damn ball. When you are actually trying to dribble it out, get Caitlin the ball. She's able to attack inside. She did miss the layup, but Aaliyah's there on the follow-up because of all the pressure that comes down to her. And if you guys agree with all this, subscribe. We are trying to hit 49.2K by the end of the day. But all of this is how they're meant to play. They're meant to play fast. They're meant to make decisions. They're meant to think fast, not just run. Playing fast is not about is not about sprinting up and down. Playing fast is about a tempo. There's a difference between running up and down like headless chickens and playing at a tempo. You got to just have a tempo when you're playing a game. Like, I remember watching an entire clinic. Well, not even watching a clinic. I watched a clinic and then had a meeting with a guy who was part of the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns team. And that was the thing that he was always saying about Steve Nash. He was like, Steve Nash was one of the slowest point guards in the league, but the team played so fast because it was at a tempo. They were like, they were not the fastest team. They just played at a tempo. They played fast. They played with their heads up. They constantly moved forward. That was their whole thing, moving forward, going forward, going forward. They never walked the ball up the floor. Everything was at speed. Everything was about getting the ball from one side of the floor to the other and getting stuff in. And that is what the Fever need to do. And if anything, I think they slow it down a little bit too much into the pick and roll. I would love to see like the Indiana Fever play a bit faster. I think they can just play a little bit faster, even than today. They had 102, and I still think they can play faster. I still think there was a period in the game when they tried to slow the game down. I genuinely think that this team is so bad. They are so bad when when they slow it down, that I don't care about trying to make the game a chess match. I don't care about trying to make a game a chess match. And I don't think Caitlin Clark does either. She's out here saying this is how the Fever are supposed to play basketball. I don't think she wants this game to be slow. The Indiana Fever, when they get a 20-point lead, should try to make it 30. Try to make it 40. Because that is how they're going to win games. This is a team that's going to give up big runs. This is a team, by the way, that when they slow things down, kind of suck. They kind of suck when they slow things down. We can be honest. They kind of suck. In a slowdown offense, they kind of suck. However, when they speed it up, when they start playing at a tempo, they are unstoppable. Nobody can stop them. Nobody can stop them. And that is the thing. The only time 19 fast break points. By the way, they had 19 total fast break points in 5 games. And by the way, the way the WNBA have fast break points, it's weird. It's basically the only way you can get a fast break point is off a live ball turnover, essentially. So like the Liberty had way more, even though the Fever played faster, because the Liberty had a lot more. Liberty were giving up open, like the Fever were giving up open layups, especially in that first half. But it doesn't really matter. Like, the problem is that coaches think control equals slow. Control equals playing at the tempo you want. And by the way, you can give up, if you play at a fast tempo, you're going to give up fast break points. They forced the Liberty to play their game, and they did it better than them. That was what it was. The best way the Liberty can beat the Fever is by in a grinded out game. And they didn't. The Indiana Fever forced the Liberty to play their style. And yes, the Liberty got success out of it. The Liberty had a lot of success playing the Indiana Fever style of basketball. Do you want to know what the difference is? Is that if the Indiana Fever can force a team to play that style of ball, they're going to win most of the time. And Caitlin Clark knows that. She absolutely knows that. If you can instill your game on the other team, you're going to concede more fast break points. You can't not do it. Like, you cannot simultaneously push the tempo, control the pace, make it a fast pace game, and concede very few points, and have a high-ranked defense. You can't do that. I don't give a damn if the Fever have the worst defense in WNBA. As long as I don't care if the Indiana Fever end up, like, having, if they win every game 103-102, I don't care if they have the worst defensive rating in WNBA history, as long as they win every game by a point. If they can win, they are going to win more games by pushing the pace than they are grinding it out. Just because their coach might look at defensive ratings and want to bring them down, that is not Fever basketball. That is not how you have success with Caitlin Clark. That is not how you do it. And if you want to play this slow down ball, go and trade Caitlin Clark for a king's ransom. Go and trade Caitlin Clark. Go to Dallas. If you don't want to use Caitlin Clark how Caitlin Clark is used, go to Dallas, go to Dallas and go, yo, give me Paige Bueckers, give me Louisa Geisel-Soder, and give me your first round pick this year. And you can get Caitlin Clark. If you don't want to do that, go do that. Get a king's ransom for her. But you should want to do that because she is going to maybe not win you a championship this year. She is going to give you a championship soon. She will get you a championship soon. And not only that, she will get you a championship soon while increasing the value of your franchise by literal billions. Billions with an S by the end of her career. Trust me on that one. So yeah, that is the video. I'll see you guys.